everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts and another Brutus Monroe design team project. It's release day over in the Brutus Monroe store. We're super excited about the new Halloween and fall stamps that are available now. Here's a look at the Grateful Greetings. This stamp set comes with 2 leaf clusters and 3 sentiments. I'm using the vintage Tapestry embossing folder. This is not new. I have Alabaster embossing powder, Chroma Glaze in Teal, a 3x6 card panel, 3 distress inks, and we are going to be doing some emboss resisting. Because this leaf cluster does come with 2 of the clusters and they are going to hang off the edge of my card panel, I did put my panel in the middle of my Misti to make sure that I have enough room for the left and the right sides of that cluster. If I put it in my bottom corner, it wouldn't have been centered. So I'm centering these stamps onto my 3x6 card panel. I'm using some anti-static powder to make sure that I don't get any stray embossing powder anywhere on my card panel. I moved my panel just a little bit. I'm just making sure that I have everything aligned the way that I want it. And now I'm going to use the Alabaster ink from Brutus Monroe. This ink is a pigment ink, so it is embossing powder friendly. It does stay wet longer. I've mentioned before in my videos that I do use embossing white ink is what I'm trying to say, white ink to emboss with. So if there's any areas that I miss, or sometimes you don't get something completely heated and then it brushes off, you're still going to have the white underneath and no one's really going to notice. I will put the stray embossing powder back into the container and heat my tool up for just about 30 seconds. I'll use my reverse tweezers to hold my panel so I don't burn my fingers. You're not going to see the embossing very well, but it is melting there. And now we're going to use the beautiful distress inks that I've chosen. Fall is usually a time where we start using some of the darker colors, but the beginning of fall, the leaves aren't changing and we're still kind of into summer because the weather's a little bit warmer. So I thought it was appropriate to use a little bit brighter shades of fall colors. So I'm using some pink, some carved pumpkin, which is a beautiful orange color, and then I'll also add the peacock feathers. And I think that this is a perfect early fall combination. I'm a summer girl, so I'm not ready for fall in any way, shape, or form. In fact, we just went out on the river with our boat yesterday and it was a beautiful 115-degree day. So I am still a happy camper out on the water enjoying the summer fun. I did leave a space right there for more Kitsch Flamingo. I thought I needed a little bit more pink on this panel, and now we're finished with our blending. As usual, I'm going to use my distress sprayer. I'm going to half press the nozzle or the handle, and I'm going to get some nice big splatters. I'm going to use my microfiber cloth to pick some of that ink up. Add this Chroma Glaze in white, set it aside to dry, and that is going to be my background panel. Isn't that Grateful Greetings leaf? That half circle is just beautiful on this panel. So I have about a 1.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use that vintage Tapestry embossing folder. It's a gorgeous embossing folder to emboss that strip. That's going to go around the center, and there's a close-up look at that embossing. I did cut this to 6 inches. That's what I'm doing right here, and I'm doing some scoring. So I want to wrap it around. I'm taking 1.5 inches on each side and scoring it. I am going to change this because my panel was cut a little bit wonky, my background panel. So my background panel, I will end up cutting it down to, I believe I cut it down to 2 2.5 by 3. 2.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to rescore this piece. I'm using the Chroma Glaze to color over that embossing. So I'm adding some Chroma Glaze in the teal on my finger and lightly running it across the embossing so that I get that beautiful teal color. It goes perfectly with the peacock feathers. And then I also added the Chroma Glaze to a card panel and I let it dry so that I could use that panel to do die cutting. I've used a label from my collection. This is not a Brutus Monroe product, and I am using the sentiment that says grateful for you. Using that Alabaster ink, you can see that it embosses beautifully over that Chroma Glaze. And then I did use the embossing powder, the Alabaster embossing powder. So here's where I have cut down that panel. The pink cardstock is cut to 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I am going to layer those two pieces together. Try to work hard to get this straight. I'm on the struggle bus when it comes to getting this panel on, and once I get it on, then I'm going to wrap that embossed paper around it. Isn't that really pretty? And just that light touch of the Chroma Glaze gives it a little bit of shine, and it adds a little bit of color to it. I'm going to add some double-sided foam tape to give this panel a little bit of lift off of my card. My card is my card base, I should say, is 3 by 6. I am using some small foam pieces. I start putting them on the edge, and then I realize that I do want to tuck the pieces from the Judy's Wreath that I've cut out on the left side. I do have other videos using the beautiful Judy's Wreath die set. I will link those in the description box below. So this is going to give that center circle a little bit more lift on the card. As you know, I do love my dimension. I'm going to take 2 of the cluster pieces and put them on the top and the bottom, and then I'll fill in around the sides. And I think that this is the perfect early fall card. There are some amazing products that are available now over in the Brutus Monroe store. If you're ready to start getting your Halloween or your fall card making on, I encourage you to head over and take a look at the great products. I will be back next Thursday with another Brutus Monroe design team project. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful card, and until next time, have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for watching.